great dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, to get this seminar started, it is my pleasure to invite Ms. Noor Lilian, General Manager of Invest Penang, to give.
The small and medium enterprises or SMEs have been contributing significantly to the growth of manufacturing and services sector, both in Malaysia and Penang. As everyone is aware, SMEs are the backbone of every country's economy, and they are the basis or the starting point for future global corporations. According to the 2012 annual report of the SME Corp, SMEs account for 57% of the employment in the country, and Penang's 40,834 SMEs represent 6% of the total SME establishments in Malaysia. And that's why we want to thank the SMEs gathered today for your contribution to the economy and prosperity of Penang. Thank you very much. We know that FDIs are important. FDIs are important for technology transfer, for knowledge transfer, as well as, of course, to create that base and that wellspring of knowledge to attract not just local talents, but also international talents to Penang. And you need sometimes this foreign injection so that you can grow faster and stronger. Of course, competition would also make us leaner, but more importantly, that spring of technology, capital, as well as knowledge from these foreign investments will be the basis for SMEs to grow by taking opportunities offered from these foreign investors, and hopefully in the future become part of the global supply chain. It is for this reason that the state government, whilst working hard to attract foreign direct investments, is also aggressively promoting and developing the growth of SMEs in Penang as a means to stabilize the economy, to import substitution of the once imported parts and components. To be a successful location, Penang has to develop our local enterprises so that we can become a global brand. The state government, in recognizing the significance of SMEs, does not offer merely lip service. We have adopted a three-pronged strategy to nurture and develop the SMEs in Penang. First, we have established the SME Market Advisory Resource and Training Center, SMART, a one-stop facility for SMEs to expand their business, both in terms of market matching, free information, and also advice how to take advantage of the various incentives offered, as well as offer a networking support to the various government agencies, whether it's MIDA, MITI, MIDF, or the SME corporations and banks. The second approach is to build the SME Center, a 4-story, 160,000 square feet building, to help startups by offering subsidized rental for an extended period. Initially, we were looking at 3 years, and then probably with options for an extended 1 or 2 years. But now we've decided, in order to help SMEs, so that by moving in, I think probably 3 years is a bit too short. We have agreed and decided to extend it to 7 years, or 8 years. 8 years. I thought it's 7, but you know, I didn't waste one number, 8, 5. So those who rent these lots, and we've got 16 lots, 160,000 square feet, only for SMEs as a startup, preference will be given to those with innovative technology that can capture the imagination of the market, and you'll be giving a duration of 8 years at this initially a subsidized rental rate. Thirdly, of course, after 8 years, where do these SME start go? And we are offering SME village in Batu for not only for sale but also for rental. We'll be building factory buildings to be rented out to SMEs. And I think this will be a showcase not only of the government, state government's commitment towards SMEs, but also a showcase of SMEs' capabilities to develop clusters of supply chain to meet the needs of MNCs and of course global demands. This will facilitate technology training and transfer of MNCs to SMEs. Today, 90% of factory plots of the SME village, totaling an area of 150 acres, have been sold. The state government is focused on promoting new industries, sunrise industries. At the same time, of course, trying to facilitate the so-called sunset industries. The growing medical devices, like emitting diodes, aerospace, and even the fast-changing electronics industry are some of the new business opportunities that SMEs should tap in. Don't believe those rumors that the electronics industry is a sunset industry. It is not a sunset industry. The electronics will forever be a sunrise industry because technology will allow them to develop and to keep up with the times. The Association of Malaysian Medical Industries estimated that Malaysia's medical device exports last year totaled 12.9 billion. And of course, the largest contribution comes from the Northern Corridor Economic Region. Penang plays a very important role here, with companies such as Excellence, B. Brown, St. Jude Medical, and Symmetry Medical are all operating in Penang. And the latest project approved, or the latest foreign investor to come in, was Criminalix, one of the largest manufacturers of blood supply related products. So when you talk about medical devices, I say we have a whole range of products that are available, and for those SMEs to consider how you can break into the medical devices industry with the number of companies coming in. But as I said just now, don't underestimate the electronics industry, or those which are related to the electronics industry. It's just not LEDs. And you know, LED, Malaysia export amounted to 2 billion, including those from Austria, Philippines, as well as many of the smaller enterprises. And you'll be quite surprised that amongst those companies producing LEDs are not just Malaysian and Penang based, but also those that come from Holland and Switzerland. And they are operating in Penang. Holland, Switzerland, German, small enterprises with workers of less than 100 people. And they are operating in Penang. The global LED market will only grow, and they will grow quickly with a compounded annual growth rate of 24%, reaching 14.9 billion in 2013. Of course, fueled by the need to have green lighting. Everybody talking about going green. But going green can only benefit you if you can cut down the cost. And of course, LED is one of those green products that not only can cut down the cost, but can make you feel better because you are helping to reduce the carbon footprint, and as well as, of course, making the earth greener. Even in the aerospace industry, something that we can look at closely, with investments from Hanira, SAM, or Aviatron, and of course, these are new opportunities available for SMEs. We know that the latest economic figures are below expectations. For the second quarter, Malaysia's economy expanded by 4.3%, which is less than the estimated or the earlier projection of between 5.5 to 6%. So if you look at the first half economic growth, the GDP has grown by 4.2% for the first 6 months of the year. And this is way below the projected 5.6% last year. So we are around 1.5 percentage points lower than our projection. Of course, Bank of Data says that the second half will pick up and we'll be able to achieve the 5.6%. But if you are to catch up from 4.2 to 5.6, that means that for the second half of the year, you need a 7 to 8% growth. Now, is that possible? Is that possible for the second half of the year for the economy to grow by 7 to 8%? Let me get sampling here. Those who say we can grow by 7 to 8% for the second half of the year, put up your hands. Those who say we cannot, put up your hands. I think the answer is obvious. It is not possible because not only due to domestic issues, there are various domestic issues that have not been resolved, but also the global economic uncertainty. The manufacturing sector is going through a quiet phase. Some say very quiet phase. When you look at the international as well as domestic outlook, some say that there has not been very much new initiatives or even certainty and clarity domestically. You know, in business, there are two important elements that is important. Actually, the three C's are. What they want to see from government policies is certainty. What they want also is clarity. And the third C, of course, is competency. Certainty, clarity, and competency. Is that available? I think that's for you to judge, and not for me to say. I can only say that in Penang we have all three: certainty, clarity, and definitely competency. And you can see that we have offered a clear plan of moving forward. Because you look at the growth rate for the first half of the year of 4.2%, the main contributors, of course, is services sector, 5.4%, construction sector, 12%, manufacturing, 1.9%. And since we are with SMEs here, you're talking about your growth rate for the first half of the year of only 1.9%. So where are our sources of growth then? I think whether we like it or not, when there is a quiet phase at the moment, we have to look at both the construction sector as well as the services sector. Now, Penang is a little bit fortunate in that the state government's earliest efforts to redirect our energies to grow the services sector has seen some progress and is able to counterbalance any slowdown in the manufacturing sector. So that is why, despite that slowdown, we don't see any unemployment. We still face a shortage of workers. Is that true or not? We all still face a shortage of workers. Who does not face a shortage of workers? Put up your hands. Who faces a shortage of workers? Put up your hands. So, in Penang, we are fortunate. Despite the slowdown of the manufacturing sector, we do not face a shortage. We still face a shortage of workers. There is no unemployment. Because, as I said, we are also working hard to grow the service sector, an approach that we started early last year, and we have seen some positive results. When I talk about services sector, it's just not health tourism, it's just not just education tourism, it's just not recreational tourism. They are important. They are very important. They are very important because they give employment to the ordinary man in the street. You know, you have to say, what's the use of having huge amounts of investment if the ordinary person in the street cannot get any benefit. So you talk about services sector, health, medical, recreational tourism. They benefit the ordinary people of Penang. So for Penang nights, very easy. You cannot get employment, you should get employment in the manufacturing sector because everybody looking for workers. But if they want to look at other opportunities, it's available. They can go into tourism. And there are a lot of opportunities in tourism because we are growing the tourism industry. You look at the number of people coming during Hari Raya, isn't it? You thought last year is already big enough crowd. This year even bigger. Maybe next year larger still. I was talking to GM, the CEO of a big JLC, who took his mother-in-law to Penang Hill. You know, I always admire people who take their mother-in-laws. Very good son-in-law. Normally, you ask you take the mother-in-law together with the son. Why? No, he took himself. I said, oh, you went with the family? No, I took her alone. Very good relationship. So I always like these are because they show they can work with everyone. So he told me that he was shocked at the number of people at Penang Hill. He said, I just cannot imagine so many people, you know. I tell you, the service improved. Even though there were some people who had to wait a little bit, my mother-in-law thoroughly enjoyed herself. You got a happy mother-in-law, you should got a happy wife. So, and I told him that in Penang Hill, we achieved our target of having more than 10,000 visitors a day. We broke the record. So last year we got around 1.2 million visitors. This year we're looking at around 0.5. This is not like old days you get 100,000, 200,000 visitors. Now we are talking about millions already. And this is a change and progress you see. Whereas in the past maybe 200,000, 300,000, now it's we talk about millions. And anything that's 1 million, tak rasa. So, in terms of services sector, it is growing. So health, medical, and of course recreational. You can see what happened during Hari holidays. Now every holiday there will be a lot of people coming. If not in Penang Hill, they go and see the art paintings. They go and see the child with the bicycle. They go and see the little minions. Some go and see water ubah also. And I think there are many attractions that makes Penang, I think, a must-see place in Malaysia. Not just for foreign tourists, especially for local tourists. You go to the airport, you see the number of people coming in. Correct? You all go to the airport. You all use the airport. You go to the airport, you see the number of visitors. Sometimes they say it's like a zoo. So many people. Sorry, not a zoo. Zoo, not that many people, like a marketplace. It's like a marketplace, so many people, so cramped. I think this is instance of that tourism that we're working very hard to grow, and of course it helps us to overcome any slowdown in the manufacturing industry. But another aspect that many of you do not notice is our efforts, which we have received some success, especially in financial services, in business solutions, with attracting companies like IHS. You know what is IHS, isn't it? Solution provider. Companies like SAP. You all know what is SAP, isn't it? The German giant for software solutions provider. Companies like VAT. Companies like Citigroup. You all know Citigroup? That one you all must know. You don't know Citigroup, you are in the wrong room. Citigroup, Citibank. Do you know that when one precinct in Baru here was completed after Kueh Lam sold to Dato' Tan and revived that abandoned project, one precinct. You know what is one precinct? Huh? Here? Sorry? Yeah, I mean, they should know. And that building, once it's completed, it was 100% rental. I was surprised. And then when I went to open the Citigroup office, I thought small one. I went and I was shocked. Huh? Got Starbucks, got Luna Ridge some more. You know Luna Ridge, isn't it? Some say Luna Ridge, only rich people can go one. Because the pizza very pricey. The second tea very pricey. The one in Gurney, and then the second one in Bangalore. All the tenants not even moving, Luna Ridge already there. So I was wondering what is so special about this that can attract all these top brand retailers. And then when I went and to officiate the Citigroup Financial Credit Transaction Center, I was surprised because they took nearly 50,000 square feet into this place with a head count of 1,300. And you know, when a bank is a highly computerized industry and sector. A highly computerized sector don't need so many workers. When they employ 1,300 workers, you know this is big business. Especially in Penang. 1,300 by Citibank. And I believe that, I don't know, they don't know how to say that. But because this is actually a 247, 365 days a year operation, they cover the entire world. For all credit transactions, trading bills of credit, from all over the world, I think the volume of transactions 1 year, I think of 1 trillion ringgit. Because we're looking at all these transacted amounts, and it's all by Citigroup. So Penang is able to attract this services company, services-centered company, which is very important because if we want Penang's prosperity to go to the next level, you must go high-tech, you must go knowledge-intensive, you must also be service sector-oriented. And without the growth in services sector, I think it will be very difficult to see a strong economic growth performance. And both can work in tandem, because when you have a strong services component, it makes it cheaper for manufacturing industries to operate, because you can get these services next door. You don't have to get it outstation in KL or even overseas. And this is very important, and it goes in line with what I've been saying for the last 2 years. What I've been saying for the last 2 years? Convergence. I've used the word convergence many times. Convergence between the manufacturing and the services sector, between government as well as civil society, that we need to have convergence. And I always like to use the example of Apple. One of the great success stories of the success of the iPhone is not because the iPhone is good, but it's because of their apps application, their app store, which allows many operations to be done. Without the app store, I don't think iPhone will be that popular. And iPhone is an example of convergence between the manufacturing and the services sector. Manufacturing, high-tech, with the iPhone, apps, the services component that allows access, direct access by the consumer and of course to the consumer from Apple. And I think this is what we try to achieve, to learn from the successes of companies like Apple, where they seek convergence on a larger scale, especially in driving the state's economy. We must also have convergence. So here, looking at these figures, until the manufacturing sector recovers, until it adopts a more robust phase, the state government would be emphasizing on the service sector as well as the construction sector, so that we can keep the economy and the construction and the economy growing. But that doesn't mean we have forgotten the manufacturing sector and SME. And by holding the SME Seminar today shows our commitment towards you, that we will not only forget you, we will also do our best to help you to grow, because we want the Penang brand, SME Penang. I think we want that to be known not only nationally but also globally. Now, in order to sustain that, A very important aspect, of course, is growing human capital. That's very critical. Do we have sufficient human resources? You know, we have set up the CAT, Penang CAT, Career Assisted Training Center. And for us, it's always a problem since we first set it up. We can never find enough workers who fulfill the needs of the employees. But I think we also need to work to another level to attract human talent, wherever they may be, whoever they are, as long as they have human talent to come and stay in Penang. I think that's very important. And if we can make Penang, as I said, a recreation center, a heritage center, education and health tourism center, I think it will make it easier. Because for those human talents who come here, the two most important elements is education and health. And you know, health, we've got some of the best private hospitals, that's not a problem. Education also with international schools, and we hope to make further announcements over the next few months. New schools, new colleges, or even universities coming to Penang. This is also another area that we're working very hard, apart from, of course, getting hospitals to expand, as well as probably even attract new hospitals here. So, grooming human capital or developing human capital is crucial. We have the Penang Skills Development Center. We have played a pivotal role since 1989. But I think we also need to broaden these efforts to train new human talent. Or else, just depend on one, you will end up seeing a hollowing out effect. Or if you do not want to see a hollowing out effect, you will do some infill. You will do some infill development. And what we are doing is basically three-pronged. Number one, attract top universities and colleges. Amongst those that we have announced is the Asian Women Leadership University, run by Smith College, the number one women's university in the USA. It may be a liberal arts university, but many people don't know that Smith College, the number one women's college in the United States. You know, they have these Ivy Leagues. Ivy Leagues are Yale, Harvard, MIT, Stanford. These are Ivy League universities. But you also have little Ivies, the top women universities in the United States. They are called little Ivies. And number one is Smith College. We are running AWLU, which is based in Batu. Many people do not know that the Smith College in the United States, they call it college, but actually it's a university. Smith College runs the top women engineering school in the United States. And I've already saw the president, and she's very keen. She was quite surprised to find that there were 30,000 engineers in Penang and still not enough. So she was very keen about maybe talking about future engineering school by her college to be built in Penang. And if this can be done, I'm sure it will help to grow, I say, homegrown engineering talents. Of course, there will be other universities that we will be announcing over the course of the next few months. That's number one. At the top tier, universities. But I think that is not sufficient. We still need to start from primary school level. That's why we are not only giving money every year to schools. You know, we give annual grants of 12 million to schools in Penang. But also we are building Penang learning centers to try to help those who are academically weak with emphasis on English, science and maths. I think these are three areas that we are giving emphasis. And in order to further the development of science and mathematics, we have also set up the Penang Science Council, where we hope to rekindle interest in science and technology amongst the young. You know, this is a very determined effort where we have participation not only from academia but also, most important of all, from private industry. MNCs, top MNCs like Intel, Motorola, Honeywell, National Instruments, they are all part of the effort. And our international science fair, of course, is widely received. We are hoping that we can also participate, and we have given larger plans to strengthen the development of science and tech by building the Penang Tech Center, which will be based at the Dome. So you know the Dome in Kota, isn't it? In future, that would be the permanent technology showcase, the Penang Tech Center. And I think this is where we show our commitment offered by the state government that we want to build Penang or establish Penang as a center of excellence for science and technology. Now we know that even though we have the SME magazine, the SME magazine has listed Penang as the only state government in Malaysia with SME initiatives with the three-pronged approach that I mentioned just now. But of course, we know that even though we are number one in the country in promoting SMEs, that is still not sufficient. There is a need for acceleration of funding to support the growth of local enterprises, especially in high-value-added industry. And we want to assist SMEs to have access to this funding. For example, the Domestic Investment Strategic Fund, with an allocation of 1 million, but only 300 million has been approved for this year. Even though it was allocated 1 million, only 300 million approved, of which 220 million has already been given up. So we hope that Penang SMEs have also taken advantage of this fund. If you do not know, maybe it's now the time to know. You can check with Vivian, and also Maida is here, Asna. She'll be here later, and I'm sure she can offer some advice and assistance. So take advantage of all the funds available, and this of course is through Maida, and Invest Penang will play our role to facilitate and assist the SMEs. To conclude my address, I would like to thank Nikki for supporting this event, and also all SMEs for participating in this seminar. I hope that all SMEs who are here today will go back with better knowledge of market access and opportunities, enhancing competitiveness, as well as, of course, able to know about the funding facilities available, and also to get access to them. And I would also like to wish everyone a fruitful forum today, and also, as I said, to exchange your views. And we have a very experienced hands in technology, not just Dato' Muhammad Rashid, but also Dato' Likachun, as well as Lilian, will be available to help you. So please feel free to ask any questions, and maybe you can offer new ideas of how we can push the SME industry forward to another level. Thank you very much. What I'm saying is giving a maximum of 8 years. Okay. Anything else? That's all. Right, thank you very much.
I was educated by the
Yeah, the new one, yeah. This is the new one, new brochure.
No, this is the